Senator Moynihan was once quoted something like, if you want to build a great city, build a university and wait 200 years.
Fort Collins, since its founding in 1864 and the university in 1870, has really been there together from the very beginning.
One of the things that I believe has always characterized land-grant universities relatively uniquely is the responsibility to engage. And I think the Straayer Center is a great example of another connection point, another weld that connects all the capacity of this university to serve and inform the policy that will serve the citizens of the state.
So the Legislative Internship Program has been around in the department for over 30 years. The way we do it at CSU, the students go down to the state capitol every Tuesday and Thursday. They work for a legislator or a committee or a lobbyist. What makes our program unique is a couple of things. One is, of course, John.
I've described myself often to people. They say, what do you do for a living? I say, I drive a van. I'm a pretty good bus driver.
I would definitely say Dr. Straayer's a very humble guy. He doesn't call us his students, he calls us his kids, which I really think for him shows just how personal it really is to just be that facilitator of being able to give us the resources we need to be successful.
We've run over 1,000 students through the program now. We leave in the morning, we go down there, the students are placed with individual legislators, in some cases with lobbyists. They do what they're asked to do, and it ranges all the way from monitoring committee activity, interacting with constituents, doing some research.
The internship was incredible.
We definitely got to give a lot of input. We were constantly invited to committee hearings, we were reviewing press releases, and really just getting to sit in on some of those meetings with lobbyists where they're talking about actual issues that affect Coloradoans. Overall, it was just very hands-on.
The characteristics that I see in John's students are a deep commitment to public service. I see hard workers. I see very competent, ethical people. I see energetic, fun people, and they are so well prepared. And frankly, they've made me a better leader in this office.
I really truly believe the greatest learning takes place outside of the classroom.
I would say the program is definitely a highlight of college. It's easy to sit in class and hear about a bunch of concepts and really study them, but it's one thing to actually put them in practice and see, oh, okay, this is how this committee works.
There is definite value to anyone who goes through the program in any field and career. It's about building relationships with the other students, especially students who might not be of your same political affiliation. It's about building relationships with people in the building. It's about expanding your network.
What I hear every single year, this has probably been the single best experience I've had in my 4 or 5 years at Colorado State University. Imagine spending 4 years reading about the technology of motion in water, and then for the first time in your life you're in a swimming pool. Now it all makes sense.
I'm very excited about the prospect of the Straayer Center and the focus on public service. What I love is the fact that that's going to happen in Fort Collins, Colorado. We're going to be equipping these future leaders in this community, and they can use Fort Collins as a working lab.
The Legislative Internship Program has been core to the department for over 30 years. With the center and having a dedicated program manager, you have someone whose responsibility, whose job is to identify other internship opportunities.
The Straayer Center is a centralization of resources, which will allow us to elevate the historic Legislative Internship Program to new levels by adding to it and enhancing it with new partnerships with local government organizations, new partnerships in Washington, D.C., and by bringing practitioners, community leaders, and other folks to campus to interact directly with our students.
John's impact is so strong that naming this program after him gives it an imprimatur, gives it an understanding on people's part.
People are sort of growing in their cynicism about government. The value of the Straayer Center is that you can have a hands-on experience as a CSU student. You can see how hard people are working at trying to make public policy. You can see that largely those people are well-intentioned, even if you may not agree with their politics, and instead of it making you want to pull back from all those things that are about making public policy, it actually causes people to want to engage. That's the Straayer Center.
Whatever the future holds, whatever politics looks like in the future, the one thing I'm really confident of is that people in the next generation will come across problems that John's generation and my generation looked at and went, we got nothing. We have no idea how to deal with that. And people will solve those problems because they won't know they can't be solved. And so they'll dig in and they'll figure out ways of doing it.
Well, the Straayer Center is key, I think, to the future of Fort Collins in a number of ways, linking to talent that really is what communities and city government are built on.
It's about the students. It's about training students to be civic leaders, about motivating people to work for and with government, to work for the public good.
Yeah, I don't know that my words can capture the legacy that internship program created. Had anybody been there in the Capitol that day, that was John Straayer Day, and seen all the people who were involved, it was impossible to miss the significance. I guess the way you might think of it, think of each of those interns as a stone tossed into a pool, and each of them created ripples, both there and how they interacted with legislators and later on in their lives. And just over the scope and span of that many interns, those ripples formed some waves that really helped shape Colorado in some fundamental ways.